All right, let's start second row. Platt.
Outside of the Oklahoman, Alex Shea was terrific down the stretch in this one. Aside from the shot making, what do you just see from his demeanor and just he seems so stoic, even in big moments like this?
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't know if it was a preseason game or if it's game 4 of the NBA Finals down 2-1 with him, and that's why we have such a good mentality as a group. That's why we are able to find success in adversity, because no matter what's going on, you look at him and he's the same. And underneath that, stoic personality or look on the court is a deep-rooted competitiveness, and that is sprinkled throughout the whole team. So, I much more often than not, I've seen him come through. And I've come to expect it, and I'll hype him up and get him to the point. But he never blinks. He doesn't shy away from the moment.
Second row, Barry.
Yeah, Barry Trammell, Tulsa World. Alex, nothing seemed to come easy to you guys for most of the game. Your defense and Shea sort of lifted you at the end, but early it looked like Jalen Williams was sort of keeping you in it offensively. What have you seen of him both tonight and in this series and just down the stretch of the playoffs in terms? He's a great player, but it seems like he's taking on more and more of a role.
Yeah, I mean our young guys want to be great, man. Like they really do. They want to be great, and Chet's had games in the playoffs where I think he hasn't played up to his potential in his eyes, and then he comes out and he answers. And I don't think Dub played his best game last game. I don't think he would say that either. I kind of just expected him to come out and answer the call, and he did it early. Started getting downhill, made a couple shots, but even more than that, But being good on the defensive end, coming up with rebounds late that we needed. There's a reason he's an All-NBA player, an All-Star. I think he's 23, if that's correct. I mean, he's in a phenomenal talent, and these guys to be able to do it without a lot of experience and without being in that moment before. Like, this is their first NBA Finals, down 2-1 on the road, down 10 at one point in the game, and just answering, throwing punches like that can't get overlooked. Like, that's an impressive feat.
First row here on the right.
Joel Lorenzi with the Oklahoma. AC at 3:52 in the fourth, you guys are down 3. That's sort of your season is then and there. You sort of have to seize it. Then what do you see from that point on? What are you thinking and feeling in that timeout and sort of what's being said?
Yeah, I mean, the way that this place erupts when they go on runs or hit shots, you have to stay present and realize what the actual time and score of the game is. I think I don't remember the play right before that, but I remember they're a little excited. I think somebody was shooting free throws, right? So we just, when he came to the bench and we were looking at it, and it's like, it was a 1-possession game. Even if he makes it, it's a 2-possession game with almost 4 minutes to play. Like, there's a lot of possessions left in this game. We never wavered, never thought, we might lose this game. Like, we were concentrated on trying to win it, on trying to solve the puzzle, figure out a way to make plays down the stretch to win the game. And that's just been our focus, through the whole playoffs, obviously. But, it started from the whole season. Just an extreme belief in each other to make plays and find a way to win.
Back left.
Adeshina Koiki, a lot of sports talk. Alex, congratulations. You've gained a cult hero status to a lot of NBA fans with your style of play, your appearance, your headband. But these 2 games and going back to your time in Los Angeles, you've been like a superhero playing these big games. I don't know how much you're into the superhero Marvel DC genre, but is there any superhero that you either kind of identify with, and what makes you play big in these sorts of games?
For the superhero reference, we'll just do Robin, because that seems to be the only one that I can probably, make some similarities to, because I got better players around me that are doing more. But, I'm just, I want to win. I don't care if it's pick up in September before training camp. I don't care if it's game 45, 50 before All-Star break, if it's game 4 of the finals and you're down 2-1. Like, I want to win, and that's what I'm focused on. And I think over my career, you know, my abilities have gotten better through some work ethic and through a little bit of confidence and understanding the moment and having success in the moment, but really just fighting through failures. You know, like, I don't think I played my best game, excuse me, in game 3. I don't think I was – my mentality and my focus wasn't sharp enough for being in the NBA Finals to my liking. So I wanted to make sure that I came out here and I made sure that I had a concentrated effort to play as hard as I could and to make, you know, as many plays to help the team win. And that just comes down to really just wanting to win, being super competitive, and that's, you know, that's why my career is the way it is. That's why I've had success. That's why I'm still in the NBA. It's why I'm here talking to you right now.
Back row middle.
Yeah, John Hauser from The Athletic. Mark mentioned in the huddles coming down the stretch that Jay Will was a guy who had a voice in those huddles, and I'm just wondering what types of things he's saying and what allows a younger guy who wasn't really playing to have that kind of voice in a team's huddle at this stage.
Yeah, it's been great to see the growth of our team, you know, 1 through 17 through the season. And, you know, for certain guys, it's different. You know, it's you know, maybe being a better defender, maybe it's being more confident in your shot. But Jay Will has a very, very unique ability to be vocal. And, you know, that's a God-given ability, something that comes to him naturally that, you know, I think he's seen, you know, maybe a little bit through me and definitely through Kenrich Williams of, you know, speaking up when there's a time when guys need it, you know, when maybe the energy's bad and we just went on a, you know, a 5-0 or 0-5 run and the other team, you know, forced us to call a timeout. He has a great ability to lead, and I think he's learning that in you know, as a young player, to have that ability to be vocal and be confident in yourself and confident enough that the guys are going to listen to you. It's a great skill, and it's something that he's been working on, and I don't think he even knows that he's been getting better at it, but he has.
Third row on the right.
Alex, Rohan Nadkarni, NBC News. I believe you had 20 points tonight. When did you realize you were going to maybe need to do a little bit more offensively than you normally do? And, I mean, you were hitting some tough shots and a lot of one-on-one plays. How much confidence do you have in those moments and what you can do offensively?
Yeah, I mean, each series presents a different challenge and presents a different puzzle to be figured out. And the way that Indiana's playing, it's leaving opportunities for, you know, supplemental offense for other guys. And that was part of what I spoke about earlier with Game 3. I don't think I was aggressive enough. You know, I think I made a couple bad reads on the perimeter. I don't think I tested the paint enough. I just didn't feel like I was doing the same amount of work that I did in Game 1 and 2, where I found success and we found success as a team. So just being ready to be a basketball player. You know, a lot of times during my career, it's been guard the best guy, you know, spot up on the wing or set pick and rolls and get to the dunker. And this series and this playoffs really, you know, teams are forcing me to try and score the ball. And that's something that I've been working on for the last 3-4 years of my off season. It's been long off seasons. I haven't been in the playoffs. So I've had a lot of time to work and prepare and get to the point to where I knew this was going to be the scout. Take away the best players on their team and make the guys beat you. So just being confident in myself and being confident in the work that I've put in and recognizing opportunities.
Last question, fourth row on the right.
Dan Devine, Yahoo Sports. You were talking about, in the context of Jay Will, you know, learning how to be vocal, how to be comfortable using that. When did that start for you? When did you get to a place where you felt like you could be that voice for the rest of your teammates?
Yeah, I think each level of basketball that I've been at, I've been able to kind of manipulate that and mold that into something else. Like in high school, I was the best player on my team. You know, it was easy. By the time I got to, you know, my senior year of college, I was the best player on my team, one of the best players on my team. So it was natural to be a leadership role. And then we get into professional basketball. It's a different dynamic, right? I've had many years of working on that and seeing older players, better players, Hall of Fame players, coaches be able to communicate with people on a different level depending on who you are, get a message across. And, you know, some of that was credited with, watching those older guys and how they operate and seeing that communication works and communication is necessary for success, and that you can decipher a game through communication, through the margins of the game. So it's like I said with Jay Will, it comes a little natural to me. Like I want to win, so if it's something that I think is important, I'm going to say it, even if I'm maybe off track or somebody will correct me. But it's just something over time that I've seen great players do. So I was like, I might as well do it too.
Thanks, Alex.